everyone out there in Radio Land. This is Barry and Karen coming to you live. Um, Once again, pre-recorded. It'll be by the time you get it. It's Embrace Marriage Ministries, and also coming to you tonight, Dare to Be Different podcast. This is the one that this continuation of the one that we did on last night. If you haven't gotten a chance to see that one, you can go to our website, which is under our pictures, which is embracingmarriagetogether.wordpress.com. Go there, has a link for the podcast that we did on last night. It's titled Just to Encourage You, a Testimony of Restoration. All right. Hello, wife.
Hey. How you doing?
Well, once again, we're here. And myself, I just got through doing a 2-hour stream on Twitch, which is our Embrace Gaming, is our gaming side of our deal. And I wasn't doing that, but like I say, right now I'm just kind of getting some time in, and then actually on Sundays, at least once a week, we're going to actually be on live on Twitch.com / embrace_gaming149. That's where we're going to be doing it. So trying to find me here we go. Trying to find me a happy medium. Yeah. All right. So, like I said, we did a podcast on last night. We were talking about our testimony. We was telling people about what we came out of and what we've been through and whatnot. Just to kind of recap a little bit, tell you about what we talked about. We basically talked about our losses. How we ended up losing at the different times. Actually, it was an attack on my body, caused me to lose my jobs, lose a lot of stuff. We lost homes, lost furniture, lost a lot of stuff. Then we were in debt. We were in debt to different loan companies because we were just trying to survive, and we was trying to do it just to pay the bills, and ended up not paying the bills. And every time we renewed it, we just kept it going. It was just, it had this thing where you can pay it and then get it back, and we thought that was a sweet deal, but we didn't realize it was on our credit report. It was basically starting the thing over.
Yeah.
So
yeah, because they'd offer you more money.
Yeah, they offer you a little bit more than what you just paid. Say, for example, you paid $100, they would say, well, we get you $125, $150. Then they renew the whole loan again. So basically, we didn't know that, but we was basically refinancing it every single time. So it was continuing the debt. So let's see. Just trying to think of some of the things that we did not cover
on last night.
Yeah, what we did not cover on last night. It's kind of what we're going to talk. We're going to continue to tell you about our last episode, which was when I actually got sick the last time, and I was out for 6 weeks. Which was I had surgery. So I had the first surgery I had for it, because I only had 2 surgeries for the Crohn's when I had it. And I had 2 surgeries for it. The first one was when I got diagnosed, and I stayed in the hospital, like I said, 2 weeks before they actually diagnosed me, and then 2 more weeks after the surgery, because I had never had any abdominal surgery at all. The only thing I had was close to the surgery was a hernia. I had first surgery I ever had was a hernia surgery, which was done while I was in the military. But when I got here, like I said, I was having symptoms of this thing and had no idea all those years that that's what it was, because I was misdiagnosed. It's easy to be misdiagnosed because the symptoms are similar. I had fevers. I would have these 24-hour flus and all these different things that was coming, and my resistance was always low, and I couldn't gain weight, and it was a horrible mess. I seen pictures of myself. I seen pictures of myself when we took pictures together before. So you see a picture of us, that picture that's right there on my way, this way. That picture is right over here. Yeah, that's current. I mean, we took that maybe a few months ago. But if I was to, that one, we took a few months ago. But if I was to show you some of the pictures that I had,
I have one. I can show you. I could pull it up right fast.
well, the only one she has one of me when I was I had braids. I actually had braids.
Yeah, he was.
And I was a little bigger then because I worked.
You had just started gaining.
I started gaining weight. I think I was. That's during that time is when I actually. I think I actually did. No, I wasn't working there then. That was after the fact. And but I did stay in. I forgot to say last night was as soon as I got out of the hospital. As soon as I got out of the hospital and I was out maybe a week. And I ended up with another flare up right after that, and it was another blockage, and basically they didn't do a surgery. They basically they would just stick this tube down my nose and down my throat and suck me out and let my bowel rest, and basically it would just it would kink up, you know, so it would straighten its own self out, and I would sit there for maybe a week or two. So I think this time, when I went back and I stayed 2 more weeks.
Yeah.
So it came up a total of 6 weeks once I really did it all together, because it wasn't even 3, 4, maybe a few days after that, they was taking me back to the hospital. And so when I would come through the door of the emergency room, and that would be the only reason why, because I've had other reasons why, but that wasn't because of that. A lot of times, most of the time, they didn't see me. That's what it was. But the day that I actually realized that God had healed me of it, because the day after, I think the week after the surgery, I think it was I got out, I think beginning of the week.
Yeah.
And we was at the church we served, and I had just had the surgeon, had the little pad on. I couldn't really do a whole lot. I was still weak and frail from it. So I went to church. Still went to church. I couldn't do any stuff that I was doing, you know. I was a person responsible for making sure everything was set for the pastor when he got ready to preach, you know, made sure the order of services were going on, you know. Picked up the offering, you know, did praise and worship. I was a person. I taught Sunday school when I was there, and I taught, and then I ended up being the superintendent until I pastored the church. Yeah. And so during that time, not only did I did that, I did praise and worship. I was praise and worship leader of that church. So I was there. I took different people's spots because they put me in those spots. So I took the superintendent's position from another pastor who got placed in the church. She left, and so when they placed her in the church, I ended up taking over the position. I've had it. I think teacher got it now, I believe.
Yeah.
And so one of my students that been there with me long, she ended up taking it over. And so I made her superintendent right after I became pastor. She became superintendent. So she just let her on part of ministry, just kept her there. So I don't even know if they have Sunday school now. I ain't been there for years. So so what happened? And then when praise and worship, we had a couple. We had one other pastor that we placed in another church who's on her own now, and then our late my father ministry, our mother ministry, the late mother ministry, she was over it then. So when they found out when he made her his co-pastor, then that position fell open. I ended up with that. So I was doing that. But she had teachers, we had to do the offerings, and then I was the hype man, and you know, the hype man, you know, around the hype man, that kind of guy.
The hype man, we might want to explain that. The hype man is when you sing that song, and you know how the church go up and all that for the preacher preach.
Yeah.
That's
well, in the church, but in the world, the hype man's that dude that's on the stage with the rappers saying some of the stuff with him.
Yeah.
That's what the hype man is.
Yeah.
But I use that term lose sleep. But actually, what I basically was setting the tone. I set the tone for worship, or set the tone for praise, or whatever, so that he would come up, right. The atmosphere would be set. So I was basically doing that. Yeah. I did that for years.
Yeah, we call it a praise break.
Yeah, we call it praise breaks. So what happened?
Yeah, you was good at that.
Yeah, when I got, because I learned over the years, and especially because my brothers, we ain't only ones that could sing out of me. And it's me and my brothers. My sister, she's not a person that can sing. My mom, who's in heaven now, she sang. And even at, I think when she sung at my aunt's funeral, her sister, they had to do a solo. Mm-hmm. And she, at 82, I think she was 80. No, she was 80. She was mm-hmm. 80. At 80 years old, she could still sing like she was doing it in her 40s and 30s and stuff. Because her voice had never changed. She hadn't sung in a long time, but she still knew how. And so my brother, the oldest brother, he admired how she could sing, because he always tried to get her high. And see, he sings high. My other brothers, they sing high. I'm baritone. I can't get that high. So, but the thing is, now without no anointing on me, by myself, no. But the thing is that what God had us doing there, and I came that Sunday. Now here's the crazy part. Now I was there. Our youth pastor at the time came visit me. He came visit me a pretty good bit. Mm-hmm. And here I am. I'm gonna show you how dedicated I was. I was in charge of doing that, and nobody else would do it. I was the only one doing it, and I had to make sure I was in charge of the ministers, making sure that everybody was in their position doing what they're supposed to. So. Mm-hmm. I would call from the hospital on Sunday morning. I'd have Sunday school. I would call during Sunday. I think I would call that morning. And one of the prophetesses, she would answer the phone. I said, prophet such. And then here it is. I got a tube in my nose. Such, I want you. That's how it sounded.
And it did.
Yeah. And so I'm sitting there telling her, hey, I want such do this, such do this, such do this. Make sure Bishop don't have to do that. So I'm just sitting there, and then I'm medicated. So that shows you just how we were there. My wife's there longer than I was, but I was at least there 15 years from the time I met her, and so I was really dedicated to that. And he expected he asked for two people. He walked in the church. And he called him Prophet because that's what we referred to. He called him Prophet Craig. And so he asked, where's Prophet? Yeah. They ain't never really called my name. My name was Prophet. So where's Prophet? Then he asked, well, Pastor Marks, which was our assistant pastor at the time. He always asked for us too. So especially, he didn't have to really all the time ask me. All he had to do is come to church and hear me hollering. He knew I was in there. So
because you be singing and...
Or he'll come in and I'll teach Sunday school. Cool. He'll hear my voice and he'll know I'm there. But either way, I came that Sunday after I had the surgery, and he didn't want me to do it. He just wanted me to sit there, and he knew better than that. He knew I wasn't. I didn't get up there and do no crazy because I knew better. I'd have bust every stitch out there to put in me. But what happened, I ended up just telling them how that I knew that the enemy had attacked me, but I know that God got the victory, and God,
yes.
God gets the glory.
Yes.
So eventually, I did gain weight, and of course, it took a while for me to. But it didn't take a while to pick up because everything what I had, they gave me pretty much kicked in. And I gained weight real quick, so I got healthier and stuff. And then I had a few episodes. I think I had one more, and then this happened after I had given a testimony about what happened to me the first time.
Yeah,
and it wasn't a good month. And I'm right back in the hospital again. Well, actually, what happened? Well, it came on. When it came on me, it came like I had just ate something bad. Basically, it's like if you have sour stomach and something just sits on your stomach and you feel like And I felt like a feeling one day, and I did a different job than I do now. I was a patient escort, so I pushed and pulled people and pushed beds and wheelchairs. So I was taking this patient. I worked that whole day. It was an 8-hour shift. I felt like that morning. And it came on, it finally got on me that morning. So that morning I ate, did nothing wrong. I was hurting a little bit, but not that bad. And it didn't get worse until near the end of the shift. And I was in pain, pale looking. Everybody looked at me and knew something was wrong. And so I'm still pushing patients. I still talking Greek people, laughing just like I always do, and hurting. I was hurting bad. So when I ended up, I couldn't do it anymore. I went home. My wife cooked. It's about 5 something. I ate a whole meal, and it stayed with me. It wouldn't leave. It just you have a constant pain. It just stayed with you, and you just numb. It was a numbing pain, but it stayed with me. Yeah. So anyway, I told my wife, cause she don't care for me. She don't care for the hospitals and the ER and stuff. Cause she worked there. She don't want to go back there. So I don't understand that. So I told her, I said, this is what I told her. I said, babe, I'm going to the emergency room, get checked out. It was about 6 something. And I'll be back by 11 something. Cause I knew it was gonna keep me and let me go. That's what had been happening. So I went in there and sat there, and they put me right, because I worked there. They took me right to the back and did a CAT scan. That's all I got. Got a CAT scan. And it said, he said, well, you got a blockage. Here's what he said. He said 3 things. Say you got a blockage. Say you're going to be admitted, and you're going to have surgery tomorrow in the morning. Yeah. And so I had to call my wife and tell her, babe, I ain't coming home. They admitted me. I got a blockage. So, yep. I ended up staying at the hospital. But they did the surgery that day. It took a few hours, and I think I stayed there a week this time because I was determined to get out of there. So I started walking right after surgery. I was getting told to give me the pain medicine. I'm going to walk.
Yeah, so it was like, that was, you know what, that was a miracle. Yeah. All within itself. Yeah. Because I believe during that time, I was walking with you down the hall, and the Lord began to show me, he said, I'm going to heal him.
Yeah, that's what she told me. She showed me.
We was walking down, and I seen like his intestines, and it was like something white, like I don't even know how to describe it, like a glow. It was so white, the white you couldn't even hardly describe it. But I seen it just going all through his intestines, and he was showing me that he was healing him. Yeah. So, and I believe God, that he did it. Yeah. From that day forward, I mean, even though he had, he would have to go backwards and forth from time to time, but I still held on to it. I would say, well, baby, Lord said he healed you. Yeah. So he would go, he said, well, I'm just going to go get checked out. And he would go, they send him home. Yeah. And every time he go, they send him home. I just stood on the promises of God. So, like I say, this might be, last night it was financial, so tonight somebody might need a healing in it. Yeah. So this is to encourage you, because a lot of times we pray and we seek the Lord about healing, and we wonder, well, when is it going to happen? And why is it taking so long? And why am I suffering? Yeah. So tonight this might be encouraged somebody that's seeking the Lord for a healing, that he will do it. He did it for my husband, and I do believe he'll do it for you also. Yeah.
So it's the word says, talks about, what we don't realize is that, healing is a reality. But what we get caught up in is we get caught up in the idea that, we know God can heal. Yeah. But can he heal me?
That's it.
That's where the problem, it's not so much of the belief that everybody knows God can do anything. You can pretty much bank on them knowing that. They say, well, you ask them, can God heal? They say, yeah, he can heal. God can do anything. He can heal. He can raise the dead. He can do all that. Yeah. But then if you ask them, can he heal you? Oh, no, I don't think he can heal what I got. I got sugar diabetes and arthritis, off with an F.
High blood pressure.
Yeah, high, sugar. And it's actually low blood sugar, they got all that. So you can't. I don't think the Lord can say this God's will for me to have it, because I gotta suffer, and that's where it mess up. Yeah, it's the mindset. And what kept me, and I know that was an attack, but what kept me going and kept me, I owned it, because we was talking about that. When you own it and say my diabetes, my high blood pressure, my this, my that. When you start taking ownership of it,
that's it.
It's gonna stay with you. You know, there's people that have made foolish decisions of their health,
right,
and have died because they made foolish decisions. They didn't really realize how serious their particular situation was.
Yeah,
and they have died because of it. We know people personally that have.
Yeah.
And so
one thing I had to learn to do, even though he was going, you know, like he was saying, I'm just gonna go get checked out. I said, well, okay, we can do that. But one thing, what I would do before we would go, I would pray. I would say, you know what? I deny your right. I deny the right. I said, I deny your right. The Lord said He's healed, and I stood on that. I said, no, I deny your right to come back.
Yeah.
I just thought I just started denying the right. I said no, because I know what God said.
Yeah.
And we would get there, and they said, well, we ain't find nothing, and we ain't see nothing, and we come home.
Yeah. How I knew I was really, really healed is because when we went through what we went through last year, usually stress would activate everything.
Yes.
Yeah, and stress would activate everything.
Oh yeah, we would have been. We would. Yeah, we.
Yeah, I'd have stayed in the hospital if that was the case. Which, when we got out, when I went the last time, it was a lot of stuff going on during that time. Because my daughter had lost her spot, her place, her residence, and she had to come and stay. She was in between between places. She was with this guy, and that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, family secrets.
Yeah. So what ended up happening, she come with us, and we had to till she found to another place, and so it was a strain on us because that's when all this stuff I wasn't working because I still was out, and so they're there and they don't behave sometimes, and I was like, you know what, I'm not finna sit here, and I told her straight out, I said, look here. I said, I just got out of the hospital, and I refuse to yell at you. I said, and next thing I know, I raised my voice enough to let them know, say, look here. I say, you gonna act like you got some sense, or I'm gonna hurt somebody, because I don't have no time for that. Because, I mean, I come home, and it's already, you know, and you don't want to come home to that. Not after you get out the hospital. Some people, they go right back in the hospital because they so much stress in their home life that's what would trigger it. I wouldn't have no other episodes but that. And where I was working at the time when that happened, it was stressful.
Yeah.
And so another thing that I had an issue with was my blood pressure. And now you notice I said my blood pressure because all of us have blood pressure. You even have lower or as high or normal, but all of us have blood pressure. You wouldn't have one, that means you're dead. So what? But it would be higher than normal. And because of the stress I was under, and because of the strain, because of the rushing and everything that was going on in the previous place where I was, it affected me physically. It was affecting everybody physically, but especially me.
Because his blood pressure will be high, almost stroke level.
Yeah,
it would be high.
It would get that pretty good.
Yeah, so we didn't claim. Yeah. That was another thing. So we didn't claim high.
Yeah.
Blood pressure.
Yeah, we just so we stopped doing that too.
Yes, I had to stop saying that too. I say no, because I would say, well, blood pressure. I say nope. Yeah. So now we just say blood pressure. We don't say he have high blood pressure. So we don't know.
Yeah.
No.
Now mind you, there's history, and a lot of the history that goes on in the family, it passes on to the kids and whatnot. Because even the word talks about how that the blessing that Lord will endure to 1,000 generations of them that fear Him and keep His covenant. With those that disobey Him, that curse will fall on the third and fourth generation. So the thing is that when it gets to a certain point, it'll start to affect them, But anyway, the thing is that what it cost us, what the sickness cost us more than we could afford. It basically took a lot from us and took a lot from us to get back to. So the first thing we had to do is we had to, like she said, establish the fact that this is not going to happen anymore. Nahum 1:9 talks about affliction shall not arise the second time.
Right.
So we had to realize that this is something that we did not want to happen again. That it could not arise again. So once we realized that, then the enemy didn't have any other course physically to go through. Now, like I said, I know I'm healed because the fact is that I took hold of it and I received it myself, and I knew that for sure when we went through all this and the much pressure that we was going through at the time. I could have been in the hospital because of it, and then other issues, which I did end up going for other issues. Then tried to go a different route. But that didn't even work. After a while, you get to the point where you either going to stand up to the enemy, or the enemy is going to keep standing up to you. I said that today, and I said it before. And I was talking about we used to we would train and celebrate recovery, dealing with that kind of stuff, where they train us to be able to be counselors or whatever. And one of the training I mentioned in the training was talking about boundaries, and which is a good subject to talk about. One of these things we'll probably talk about boundaries, because a lot of people don't have them.
No.
So boundaries, we was talking about boundaries, and I said, and it was the first time I think I ever said that. I said either you gonna make the line or people make the line for you.
Right.
So you either draw the line and make the line, or people make the line for you, and they're gonna put their own boundary in their life. They can, if you, like I had to do that today with somebody. One of the things that I do not like, I do not be, as a black man, I do not, and other black men do this to each other just as bad as any other race. If we use the N-word with each other, like it's just, like it's a brother, like it's brother or sister saying, like you say brother or sister. That's basically kind of how they do it. They would get ticked off if another race called them that. But they would call each other that. And I don't do that. What stopped me is I had the incident with my grandson. That's what stopped me a long time ago. I don't even say that word. So what happens, he mentioned, because he was talking with Joe around, he was saying, and I kind of looked at him, and he said, this N-word looking like me. I said, hold, first of all, I'm not an N-word. I said, I got serious with it. Say, bro, I don't get out like that. Look, first of all, I'm not that. I'm not that. Let's establish that right now. I'm not that. You say brother or this dude or whatever, this guy or this man. But that other stuff, you keep that ghetto stuff to yourself, bro.
Right.
I'm not like that. And honestly, I'm not. I haven't talked when I was out there before I came to Christ. I didn't talk like that because I didn't think it was intelligent. And you got a lot of these guys that talk like that, and then they don't have much intelligence.
No.
That shows you that you don't have any common sense when you talk. You talk to each other like that, and you street talking, and it's not. If it can't translate into what I'm doing, I don't use it. Basically, there's certain things I just don't say, and I just won't. So yeah, if you don't draw the line, if you don't raise the standard in your life, people will put their own standard, and they will make their own line in your life. They will set their own boundary. What you have to do is you got to push people off sometimes. You got to tell them, say, hey, I don't do this. I don't say that. I don't deal with this. I don't have time for that. No is the best word you can use. When the people want you to do stuff, sometimes there's certain things that sometimes you just feel like, well, I'm gonna let them do it. Sometimes I do and say, you get one. That's what I tell them. You get one. I ain't gonna do this every single time. It turns around, because I had to do this a few times with my family. I said, you get one. I tell them straight out, this is it. Now you ain't gonna do this every month or every week or every day. No, that's not happening. You get one, After that, and that it may not sound a whole lot Christian-like, but when you talk about boundaries, you don't want people to misuse you and run over you.
No, you don't.
Because that right there will cause enough stress in your life where you can stress draws those sicknesses that we mentioned, which affects your immune system, and it'll draw those things to you. And so you got to be aware of that. You definitely got to be aware of it. So anything you want to add? She's gonna smile tonight. She's gonna grin and smile. That's all right. she keep on smiling. She pretty. But the thing is we just wanted to share a little bit with you. Like I said, I'm trying to condense it as much as possible, because like I said, our podcast, and because of the fact that if it was both of us talking, it would be longer. But me, I try to shorten it because it's just mostly me talking.
Yeah.
And but we'll probably get on once we get on another subject on tomorrow. Like I said, we pretty much kind of laid it out, everything that we had dealt with. We can't really detail it because we can't detail our life to you in podcasts because it would be too many.
Yeah.
But we can share with you basically the lessons we learned from it.
Yeah.
So that you'll know exactly what you can do. Yeah, how can it apply to you?
Yeah, we could tell how God brought us through it.
Yeah.
And how He made ways and opened doors.
Yeah. And that's basically what we want to share. So, like I said, if you're listening, what you'll be looking at this, I know you're looking at this on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe. Also, hit the bell that's and leave a comment in the comment section. Basically, just saying good, bad, or indifferent. Like I say, just let us know what do you think, what we can do different, what we can do better. I need some critiquing because, like I said, we're new at this. We don't have a whole lot of videos out. At least the ones that we seeing. I'm trying to do more of this so that we won't be having the other stuff, because I don't want to have just audio and just not video. So just critique, just let us know what you think, and if you like it, if you don't, just hit the dislike, so we'll get an idea of basically what is going on. Check out our website, which, like I say, is down there below us. embraceingmarriagetogether.wordpress.com. Check it out. We got links to our Facebook, links to our Twitter, links to the gaming site that I told you about, and Twitch. And like I said, to announce that again, we're going to be going on live once a week starting this Sunday on Mother's Day. Basically, we're going to do a Mother's Day podcast. And we're also going to do it live on Twitch. And we don't have a live time limit for that. So, we go as long as we want to on that one.
Yeah.
But we're going to go long enough to kind of just share with you some stories about, our mothers, the good stuff. We ain't going to tell y'all some of the crazy stuff they did. Just the good stuff that helped us to be the people that we are and stuff like that. Talk about different mothers that influenced our lives and honor some people, that kind of thing. And kind of get some viewership in that particular vein. Because like I said, right now, we're growing, and we want you to follow us on our different platforms. Follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, follow us on YouTube, follow us on these different platforms. Kind of get an idea. Every place where you're going to see it, we're going to put it. So just follow us and follow the website. You can either subscribe to that. Just subscribe to the website. You'll be a follower there, and we'll follow every post we have. It'll send you an email. If you put your email in, it'll send you an email to the very post. Also, too, say this and then we're gonna go. We're gonna start doing a blog. My wife is gonna be basically doing one. So we're gonna have something like like Karen's thoughts, or she gonna think of the name of it, something like that. So it'll be
our golden nuggets or little treasures from the heart that we're gonna have. Just little things we just want to share.
Some of the stuff that we she is really smiling. That's the extreme angle smile. But That ain't fake, y'all. That's her real smile, for real. That's how she smiles. That's not fake. She does do that, and like I said, when she's happy. When she ain't happy, she don't smile. I'm telling you that. I'm saying, that 3/4 Indian ain't gonna smile. No way. That's that Cherokee somewhere come up and it's over with. It's over with. So anyway.
It's just gonna be things to encourage you. That we're gonna share together, and before we end this podcast, I would just like to let everyone know that just have faith in God, because He is able to see you through anything. He's able to heal you. He's able to deliver you, whatever need you may have financially, sickness in your body, whatever. Just have faith in God and just know that He is able to see you through it.
That's it. He can do it.
Yes, He will.
And we know we're living proof of it. So, so you, like I said, we want you to know that we're praying for you. Like I say, if you want us to pray for you, have special prayer requests, you go to the website embracingmarriagetogether.wordpress.com. Click on the contact link, and it'll send us. You can send it straight to us, and we'll get your prayer request, pray over you, and we'll respond to you, let you know that we got it. And until next time, which will be on this will be on our different platforms tonight, most likely. Yeah. So you'll be able to view this video if you didn't get to hear it. So you'll be able to view it, and also listen to the podcast. Yes. And so we thank God for you.
And God bless you, and good night.